Alright guys, Project Abs 2015. This is probably going to be like the third video I put out. I just put out the intro trailer yesterday, and today I'm doing my first full day of eating, but because I'm going to have to do this until the night, it's probably going to be like the third video I'm actually going to put into YouTube. So right now it's a little bit after 4 in the morning. Okay, I just woke up, brushed my teeth, and I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I'm going to go ahead and make my pre-workout beverage right now. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm putting in there. When I do this work, the anaerobics diet, I just take in carbohydrates before and after I work out. So here's the first time I take them in, and it's like I said, my pre-workout shake that I take in the morning. Alright, you need a good blender, okay, just in general. I mean, you could get by with a cheaper one, but the more blenders, drinks you make, you need a good one. I got a Ninja. What I do is I put in about 12 fluid ounces of unflavored, unsweetened almond milk, okay. Make sure it says over here original, okay, or unsweetened, and original or unflavored, that's basically the same, and unsweetened, okay. Otherwise you're defeating the purpose of using almond milk. The bananas are frozen, okay. There are two reasons for that. First of all, a lot of times when people put ice into their drinks, okay, when they make in a blender, it's because it runs kind of hot, so the ice kind of keeps it from getting warm and tasting like even worse than it has to taste. And another thing is, I had a problem a lot with fresh vegetables and fruits, is that, you know, they always go bad. I buy a few and they always go bad. So what I do is I immediately skin my bananas, put them, you know, 4 or 5 at a time into a freezer bag and freeze them in, so it keeps them from going bad. Okay, and I add whey protein. I'd rather not use too many supplements. I'd rather use like unflavored, unsweetened, 0% fat Greek yogurt in my blenders smoothies. But the thing is, you know, this is just a little bit cheaper. This is a little bit more practical in terms of room in the refrigerator for all of those, you know, massive containers of Greek yogurt. So this is what I'm using right now. Like I said, I recommend you use another protein source like unflavored, unsweetened, 0% fat Greek yogurt. Okay. So I put in almond milk first, and I add about 1.5 cups or 12 fluid ounces, the same thing, of course. Okay. And obviously it makes sense to put in the liquid first, because if you put anything else in, it will displace the liquid, thus making it appear that you put in the proper amount. You're welcome for the little physics lesson at 4 in the morning. Okay, broke the banana in half so it breaks down a little bit better. I recommend that you weigh all of the supplements you put in. Okay, this time I usually what I usually do is, if I put a supplement into something, I basically put the container on a scale and then weigh it directly on the scale to put in the proper amount of the supplement. But with here, I admit, you know, with this 1 drink per day, because it's going into the blender cover, it's kind of big to put on the scale. I admit that I just use scoops. I put in, right now, I'm using 50 grams of whey protein. Okay, that means the protein. In order to get 50 grams of protein from the whey powder, I need to put in actually 100 grams of powder. So you're going to have to check out the macros for the type of protein that you're using to make sure, because there's a difference between, like, if you put 1 gram of powder in there, it doesn't mean you're automatically getting 1 gram of protein. Okay, it's always going to be less protein than the actual powder. Especially here, you're going to have to get a feel for it, because what I'm basically going to have to do is put in 2.5 scoops to get the 100 grams of powder. Okay, now I basically just add in some water to make sure that it mixes proper. so I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the supplements that I take in the morning. Here's vitamin C, no particular brand. I got this at Walmart. It's 1,000 grams, so 1,000 milligrams, 1 gram pills. I take 3 of these a day. I like to take 1 3 times a day, but I usually forget that. So basically I take 2 in the morning and I'm going to take 1 at night. The same thing with fish oil pills. I take 3 of these a day, 2 in the morning, 1 at night. Once again, it's no particular brand, it's just something I got from Walmart. Take a multivitamin. I take 2 of these Burn 60s. They're not fat burners in the sake that I use them to help me burn fat. They're fat burners in the sake that they have a lot of caffeine. And I took them accidentally. I just took them because my girlfriend happened to have some around when I was doing my 5 o'clock in the morning workouts, and with her, and I realized I wasn't tired, and then I reverse engineered. It's like, wow, I should start taking these things, so that must be the reason why I'm so awake in the morning. So I take 2 of these in the morning. I don't take them for the rest of the day. That's basically just because I work out so early in the morning. It's easier than having to drink coffee and make coffee and whatever. 5-HTP, this kind of helps you with your mood. No, this isn't like I need this to cope with my diet or something like this. It's basically just something I tried, and my focus, my calmness, it's just a little bit more collected. So whether or not I'm dieting, I'm going to take these. I'll take 3 a day, 2 in the morning, 1 at night. And I injured my shoulder recently. I said that's one of the reasons why I got so fat. So I take a couple ibuprofen right now. Where these 200 milligram tablets, I take 2 of them in the morning, 2 of them at night. It's not because my workout's a killer workout or it's unhealthy or anything. Actually, what happened to my shoulder, is I slept on it wrong. I slept on my stomach, which I can't. I always screw myself up when I do. And I slept with my head on my shoulder, and I woke up the next day and I could barely move it. And I ended up having to go to a friend of mine who's a chiropractor, and he's like, oh yeah, he has more people coming in there because they slept wrong than because of any particular injury, at work or, when they're playing sports. So like I said, it's not this killer workout that's unhealthy for you. It's just, pay attention to how you sleep at night, I guess, when you get over 40. So that's what I take in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and drink my drink, take my subs, and grab my stuff and go to the gym right now. Alright guys, I'm in the car, ready to leave. I get to the gym at about 5 right now. I'm taking 3 of these little pint containers of water. Okay, 1 of them I'm going to leave in the car because that's what I'm going to use to mix in with my post-workout beverage as soon as I get out into the parking lot after my workout. And I'm going to have another 2 of these. 1 of them I'm going to drink on the way, definitely, so I'm at least a little bit hydrated when I show up. I also drank one with my pre-workout beverage. I basically mixed a little bit of it into the blender drink, and the rest I just drank out of the bottle. And the other one I'll probably start on the road and drink the rest of it during my workout. The anaerobics workout is what I'm doing this morning. That's going to be plyos and burpees after I do some static holds. I'm not really going to have time at all to be drinking because I don't have a whole lot of rest. So it's really important that I get hydrated before my workout, because like I said, if I go in there dehydrated, it's not like I can take a break and just drink water for a while. So all right, see you after I get done with my workout. Alright guys, it's about 7 o'clock. I just got home from the gym. Like I said, I drank 3 of these pint bottles of water, 1 in the car on the way there, 1.5 in the car on the way there. During my workout, like I said, I really didn't drink anything because I had no time. I was doing static exercises where I set a timer, do an interval for a minute. Then I go from one to the other, and then with my plyometrics and my burpees, it was basically 10 reps of an exercise and then a 30-second break.
in between intervals, so I really didn't have a lot of time to drink there. What I did is after the workout in the car, I had my post-workout shake with a bottle of water in it, and then I finished up the rest of the bottle. So, because hydration is something that I have a problem with. You know, if I don't track what I drink, I always kind of miss out and don't drink enough water, and that costs you strength, it costs you endurance, and if you're trying to lose weight, it makes it a lot easier to lose fat if you're drinking enough water too. I'm really not going to really get into my post-workout shake because I'm going to have another video specifically about pre and post-workout meals. I'm just going to say right now I have dextrose powder in there to give me some simple sugar and an insulin spike after my workout. The important thing for me is it replaces my glucose, because if I'm not on a high-fat diet, like the anaerobics is not a high-fat diet, I need carbs before and after I work out. The carbs after I work out is not necessarily so much for this anabolic insulin spike, although that's nice too. It's important that, like, if I don't refuel right after my workout today, and if I'm depending upon carbs instead of fat for fuel, tomorrow my workout's going to suffer because it takes longer to to take your glycogen stores up. So I got some dextrose powder in here, some whey protein in here, glutamine and creatine. That's what I have directly in the parking lot right after I step out of the gym after my workout in the morning. I did only my plyometrics, my static exercises, and my burpees this morning. I'm going to do some calisthenics later on. Actually, the first time that I got really ripped with the anaerobics program, I just did pure anaerobics, okay? Jump rope intervals, plyos, and burpees, okay? I didn't do anything else. When I went on the lean bulk, I went and started doing some calisthenics like pull-ups, dips, push-ups, rows, squats, hanging leg raises. I'm still going to do them, but the priority is to get the plyometrics and the the intervals and everything out of the way. So that's what I do in the morning. It's the hardest workout, and it's the most important for burning fat. So I would like to, if I had time, I would like to have done some calisthenics, taken a little break in the gym and done some calisthenics this morning, but since I have my dip tower and my rings at home, I'm going to be able to do this in a second workout later on, just cover my calisthenics. So now I'm going to get on the computer and get some work done, and I'll probably have my next meal at about 12 o'clock. Alright guys, it's about 11 o'clock now, and I'm going to have my third meal of the day. Normally I would have eaten at 9 o'clock. I try to eat every 3 hours, but there are a couple things going on. First of all, I usually eat 6 meals a day, and I do not include my post-workout shake, okay? So that means basically 7 meals a day. And in the video that I uploaded yesterday, I explained how to ease into a diet, the different phases of the diet, how to adjust your diet. And so right now, because of the amount of calories I'm taking in, the food I'm taking in, I'm only going to eat 6 times a day. Another thing is I had my first meal this morning at 4:30. Okay, so 4:30 in the morning, then 6:30. I had my post-workout shake. So if I ate again at 9, it would be 9, 12. 3, 6, so I'd either not eat before bed or I'd have to miss a meal somewhere. So basically all I'm doing is pushing my 9 o'clock meal up to around 11, and then I wouldn't eat again until 3 in the afternoon. So that's how I handle the 9, 12, 3 meals. I'll just eat once at 11 instead of 9 and at 12. What I'm doing right now, once again, you watch the video I uploaded yesterday and I'll explain why all I'm going to be eating is chicken, okay? I go to the store and buy chicken breasts, and I chop them up, cut away the fat, and put them into little bags, 200 grams each. So all I have to do is, however many meals I'm going to eat that day, I just take that many at night and put them into the refrigerator from the freezer so they thaw out. So it's already pre-portioned. And I'm not going to be eating any fat or any carbs. The anaerobics diet basically means just carbs before and after you work out, so that's nothing unusual, but like I said in the video yesterday, I'm not going to be eating as much fat right now in this first stage of the diet.
Sometimes I use a griddle, especially if I'm cooking for like my girlfriend, but right now I'm at home alone and I'm cooking just for myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use a wok. Honestly, you know, I say this is not fat, okay, but I'm putting in a little bit of olive oil. It was a little bit too much actually. So yes, I am actually going to be using a little bit of fat. What I mean when I say fat is I usually put almonds in with my chicken. So now I'm going to put it up on a medium heat. It's okay to go ahead and put stuff on top of it, like in terms of seasoning. I certainly do not recommend using salt, especially if you're on a cut. It helps you or makes you retain water. So what I do is I get like massive, you know, containers of curry powder, because I use a lot of this, just from like Sam's or wherever. When you buy this, be careful what you're buying, okay? Always look at the ingredients, because sometimes people will put like sugar in, you know, certain seasonings or whatever. So you're thinking to yourself, you can put as much as you want on, but if there's sugar, if there's salt, whatever, then obviously you can't just put as much as you want on. It's better to just get something pure, okay? Something that has no sugar, no added salt. And the way that I cook this is pretty much straightforward. I mean, all I do is I leave it a little bit together, okay? It kind of sticks together, and I cook it on one side just for a couple minutes, and when that's done, then I flip it, cook the other side, more curry, separate a little bit, and then, you know, that's it. Really simple meal to make. Alright guys, that's it. My 11 o'clock meal, it's 200 grams of chicken with nothing. No, it's 200 grams of chicken with a little bit of fat because I cooked it in olive oil, a little bit of curry, no sugar, no salt, no carbs, and this is what I'm going to be eating 3 times. Okay, I'm going to eat this again at probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 1500, 6 o'clock, and then I'm going to have a case and shake at 9. So I guess I'll see you guys at 3. Okay guys, another thing is I talked this morning a little bit about water. Like I said, water is massively important because, you know, you lose strength, you lose endurance, which means you can't push your workouts, which means you can't burn as much fat, build as much muscle, whatever you're trying to do. So whether you're bulking, you need water. If you're cutting, you need water. If you're bulking, a lot of bodybuilders said, hey, you know, muscle is basically blood. Blood is basically water. So, you know, you need to make sure you take in enough water to build up your muscles. And like I said, the same thing with cutting. You know, water helps with fat mobilization. Okay, it helps, you know, flush the, you know, everything out of your system, including the fat. So whether you're cutting or bulking, you need to drink a lot. 1 gallon is basically the rule of thumb. I sweat my ass off. If you see some of the pictures I have on Instagram of me doing a, you know, of like my shirt, what it looks like when I'm done working out, or like the floor, sometimes I just like lay down for a few minutes and, you know, collect my thoughts.
after a hard workout and there's just like a stain. It looks like a crime scene where you have like stenciled somebody on the ground. So I especially need a lot of water, and like I said, a lot of times I'll just forget about it, especially when I was working in an office setting where I'm like on the computer. I just want to finish this, and then at the end of the day I realize I didn't drink anything. What I do these days is I have a gallon of water at night in the refrigerator getting cold, and the next day I do not go to sleep until it's gone. This is actually 3 liters, okay? So it's 3 quarts, 5.4 fluid ounces, okay? It's only really 3 quarts and a little bit more of water. So what I do is I drink this minimum every day, and like you saw in the morning, I put away like 3 bottles of water between driving to the gym, in the gym, and driving back from the gym. And when I make my pre-workout beverage, it's almond milk, but I throw in a little bit of water to thin it out so I could drink it, and I finish that bottle. So it's basically this 3-liter large container of water and 4 pints of water. So that's how I make sure that I cover every single day, you know, my gallon plus of water that I need to drink. Alright guys, it's 3 o'clock now. I'm eating the same thing I did at 11, the same thing I'm going to eat at 6. That's 200 grams of chicken cooked in olive oil with a little curry on it. I am also still working on putting away that gallon of water that I have to drink today. And I'm taking the rest of my supplements. 2 more 200 milligram Motrin. I know that's not a supplement, but like I said, until my shoulder's like not bothering me at all for a couple more days, I'm gonna take 200 milligrams twice a day of Motrin. I'm gonna take the third 5-HTP, okay, so that's 1 more pill I'm taking now. I'm also going to take another fish oil and another gram of vitamin C. In the past, I used to take my supplements very early in the morning, my first meal, and late at night with my last meal. The earlier I get up, obviously that's like actually being like really close together. Also, I don't really want to take my supplements, especially like the Motrin and the 5-HTP, too late at night because I want to get some of the effects while I'm still awake. So what I did is I pushed it up for a while to 6 at night, but now, like I said, since I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning and taking the first dose of the supplements, I'm doing it now at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The important thing is whenever you take supplements like that, you take them at the same time. I mean, I don't care if it's some prescription medicine for like a problem you have, or if it's just like your vitamins, take them at the same time every day. So it's not like, did I take them at 6, did I take them at 9, or should I just take them later? Like every morning when I wake up and I have my pre-workout beverage, or the first meal of the day if it's a rest day, take my supplements, and then again at 1500, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And another thing about taking supplements is, like everything else, I write them down in my book. So I write down every single meal I eat, every single supplement I take, so I know, like, if I did for some reason wonder, did I really take my supplements this morning, I can look at my book, and yeah, right after I took them, I wrote them into my book at 4:30. And right now I'm gonna write them in at like, 1500, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I know I ate, chicken with no almonds with curry, and I had the supplements. Alright guys, it's 9 o'clock at night. Now this is going to be my last meal of the day. What I got here is some water with some casein protein. It's, like I said, I weigh all my supplements. So this is 72 grams of bodybuilding.com Foundation's casein, but it's only 47 grams of protein, and I got 10 grams of glutamine, which I also weighed in here. The reason for the glutamine is it's like anti-catabolic. It helps you maintain your muscle. All night, I'm going to go 8 hours without eating, so the casein protein is slow absorbing, as opposed to the whey protein that like goes right into your body, right into your muscles after the workout. This is going to kind of like stay with you all night, so I'll have this to feed on all night. And the same thing with the glutamine. Like I said, it keeps me basically from, even though I'm going to go like 7-8 hours without eating, the glutamine is going to keep me from catabolizing my muscle. I also, something that I started when I was experimenting with a steak and eggs diet, which is high fat, high protein, low carbs, and because of that, there are a lot of people have problems with getting enough fiber. So I mix up in water just some cheap knockoff Walmart Metamucil, basically. It's a fiber supplement. I just go ahead and I take 4 teaspoons of this, mix it with water. This is the sugar-free version, okay? And this helps out a lot in case for some reason I'm not eating like a whole lot of fiber. And also, as you can see, I finished off my gallon of water. So that's it basically for my day right now. Go ahead and take a look at my macros. I had a total of 6 meals over the day, okay? A total of 1,890 calories, okay, 1,890 calories. And it was 291 calories from protein, 110 calories from carbs, and 25 and a quarter from fat, which comes down to being about 63.5% protein from calories, 24% carbs, and 12% from fat. That's really low for fat, but like I said, I'm really trying to kickstart this cut right now by keeping my calories low. So, like I said, as long as I can go without really being hungry, like I eat a meal and I'm still hungry afterwards, I'm gonna keep it to the carbs before and after I work out with protein, and the rest of the day, just protein meals about 3 hours apart. Like I said, I'll see how it goes for the rest of this week, maybe next week. And when it gets to the point where I'm actually like hungry, I just eat a meal and I'm still hungry, then I'll start adding in fat, which will bring up the percent of calories that I get from fat. It will also increase my total number of calories. And like I said, I don't want to go too low on fat for too long, because if you stay under 20% of calories from fat, men might have problems with testosterone. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. If you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get a free copy of the diet that I'm following right now. And like I said, keep watching these videos, because I'm going to cover every step of the way, everything that I do during this cut.